The hangar was vast, echoing with the hum of alien machinery that had long ago stopped frightening me. I stood at the edge of the departure platform, my boots heavy on the smooth obsidian-like floor, watching the last of her soldiers file into the great silver vessel that loomed like a shard of starlight. The alien queen was leaving. Her tall, graceful figure was framed by the ship's ramp, her movements more deliberate than I'd ever seen. Every gesture was practiced, every pause heavy with meaning, as if she bore the weight of 1,000 generations on her shoulders. She was the last of her people's rulers, and perhaps, she thought, the last who would ever speak with a human. My chest tightened at the thought. Weeks, no months, of strange companionship, tense diplomacy, and raw, fragile trust had led to this moment. When I first saw her, chained in her war armor, her people defeated and broken by years of interstellar conflict, she had called me primitive. She had spat the word as though it were an insult, yet her eyes had betrayed a spark of curiosity even then. And now she was leaving. Her ship pulsed with soft, living light, as though it drew breath. Her people were waiting. She owed them survival, exile among the stars. What was I to her but a fleeting distraction? A human curiosity in the ruins of her empire. I should have accepted it. But something inside me wouldn't let her walk away. Two echoes of a war. The galaxy had not been kind to either of us. Earth had stumbled into the conflict by accident, a spark caught in the blaze of alien politics. Her people, the Thalirians, had been masters of 3 star systems, their empire gilded in song, history, and fleets that blotted out suns. But power breeds enemies, and soon they found themselves caught between rival empires. When the war spilled across the Orion Gate, humans had been pulled into it unwillingly. Earth's colonies were burned, our fleets shattered. It was only then that the desperate alliance was made. Fragments of humanity and fragments of Thalirians fighting side by side. I met her not as an equal, but as a jailer. I had been assigned to guard the captured queen when she was brought aboard our flagship. The first days were a duel of silence. She sat in her cell, proud and untouchable, while I stood on the other side of the energy barrier, trying not to let my curiosity betray me. But walls crack, even the strongest ones. It began with small exchanges, questions asked in broken standard, then in her liquid, melodic tongue. I learned to mimic her words. She laughed at first, mocking my clumsy accent, but the laughter softened. Soon she began teaching me properly. She called me human guard, but there was a warmth in her voice when she said it. I had never expected to find kinship with someone so different. Yet in those long hours of war and waiting, we spoke of loss, of loyalty, of the fragile things that keep a people alive. And now she was leaving. 3, the word that meant everything. Her soldiers watched me as I approached the ramp. Their silver masks hid their expressions, but I could feel the simmering hostility. To them I was nothing, an enemy, a stranger. They would have cut me down in an instant if not for her raised hand. The queen turned, her dark gaze finding mine. She did not speak, but in her silence was a question. I should have let her go. But my voice betrayed me. "There's something you need to hear," I said. Her eyes narrowed, unreadable. In her language, carefully, reverently, I spoke the word she had taught me one night, when the ship was quiet and we had been more human than queen and prisoner. A word she had said was untranslatable, but had whispered anyway when her voice trembled with memory. Tlever meant home. Her soldiers shifted uneasily. Some stiffened, some looked away. For them, it was not a word spoken lightly. It was the cry of their ancestors, the bond to their lost world. The queen froze. For the first time since I had met her, her composure cracked. Her lips parted, but no words came. She had taught me that word once, half in jest. I had kept it, hidden in my chest, because I knew it was more than language. It was a promise. You don't have to leave everything behind, I said softly. Not when you still have this. Not when you still have us. For the Queen's choice. The ramp hissed beneath her as she stepped down, closer to me. Her soldiers stirred, but one sharp glance from her stilled them. Her eyes searched mine, and I could see the war within her. Duty told her to lead her people away, to vanish into the void and rebuild in exile. But something else, something older, something rawer, pulled her toward me. You are reckless human, she said at last, her voice low, strained. Do you know what you ask? Yes, I said. I'm asking you not to disappear. I'm asking you to stay, to rebuild, not as queen and prisoner, but as something else. With us. With me. Silence stretched between us. Then she did something I had never imagined. She removed her crown, a circlet of shimmering crystal that pulsed faintly with the rhythm of her heartbeat. She held it in her hand for a long moment, then lowered it. Her people gasped. For a Thalirian queen to remove her crown was unthinkable. Meant surrender, choice, change. I should strike you for daring, she whispered. But her hand trembled as she reached for mine. Her skin was cool, her grip fierce. You gave me a word, I said. I'm giving it back. Stars and shadows. We stood together as the ship's ramp retracted. The Thalirian soldiers waited, uncertain. Some murmured in their tongue, questioning, challenging. She turned to them, her voice sharp, commanding. This human speaks what our enemies never could, she said. He speaks of clever. Home. Not exile, not endless wandering. Home can be made here. With them. The soldiers exchanged glances, but one by one they lowered their heads. Some knelt. Others placed their weapons down, their movements hesitant but real. The Queen turned back to me, and for the first time I saw her smile. Not a mocking curve of lips, not the cold smirk of superiority, but something warmer. You have undone centuries with a single word, she said. Do you realize what that means? He nodded. It means you're staying. 6. The word that changed everything. The weeks that followed were chaos. Diplomats on Earth were stunned, some outraged. Generals saw her presence as a risk, a Trojan horse waiting to strike. Yet others, leaders, civilians, survivors, saw what I saw, the chance for something greater. The Queen became not a prisoner, but an ally. Her soldiers began working alongside ours, their ships repairing human colonies, their knowledge helping rebuild what war had shattered. Trust did not come easily, but it began to grow. And at the center of it all was the word, clever. It was spoken in meetings, written in treaties, whispered between children who saw no difference between Thalirian and human. It became more than a word, it became a symbol. Sometimes late at night, I would find her gazing at the stars, her crown locked away in silence. She would speak softly of her ancestors, of the weight of her choice. And I would remind her of the word, the promise that bound us both. You gave me home, she would say, her voice so quiet only I could hear. And every time I would answer the same way. You gave me hope.